Hello, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. Hi, this is Ganesh Naik. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career. And I also help students who are appearing for FRM CFA exam to clear their exam in first attempt. And today I'm going to be talking about one of my students. He has been able to clear FRM level 1 in the month of May. Okay. And he's a working professional. He's going to be sharing with us his journey of preparing for the exam. What was his approach? When he started, what are the challenges that he faced? And again, the purpose of all of these interviews that I'm doing is to make people aware about how other people are clearing the exam so that they can make their changes in their approach and go towards the exam in a better way. So with this, we'll start with the discussion. So first of all, Manoj, thank you very much for joining in and taking out time. This is I really appreciate this. Entire conversation is going to be very helpful for a lot of students. So thank you very much for joining. And
Thank you, sir. Thanks for
and
inviting me.
and give us a quick overview about before doing the FRM. What was your status? What were you doing?
I'm a working professional, as you mentioned, and I'm working for a private bank for the past 7 or 8 years. So
Okay.
I have a total experience of around 8 to 9 years, that too in banking industry.
Okay. And when did you start your preparation? Which month for the May exam?
I came in touch with you in August 2021. I had an initial conversation with you. You guided me on some of the aspects. Then I decided that I can go for FRM level. So basically, I started in August 2021.
Okay. Now, from when you started the preparation, when you picked up the book, okay, I'm assuming you're going through the Swedger book only, the way I generally tell, right? So Swedger
Yes.
book, did you find any particular book easy because of your experience? Any particular book slightly tough? That okay, this is something new for me at the start.
On the basic experience, I would say book one is a bit easier because it's all theory and it has nothing, no relation with your experience. It doesn't matter your experience or non-experience. Book one is a bit easy. So it's your experience has no role to play in it. And personally, from my side, book two is something which I find it a bit difficult.
Okay.
Although I'm book three, it's easy for me because I'm into that kind of experience of in my current role with the bank. So book three is quite easy for me. Book four, I would say somewhere to intermediate level. But book two is something I would say a bit difficult for me. Although I'm a graduate in economics, but I haven't studied stats and those things for the past many years. Even though I would say book two is a bit difficult for me.
Okay, perfect. Now from August onwards, what was your way of preparing? As in, how much time you were giving every single day to prepare for the exam?
To be very frank, that the first conversation which I had with you when you share and to go through the tracker, like the list of the chapters and the list of the books which you should be going through in the sequence, that was very helpful. I followed that, and you also said that book one you can take you can read into later part of your journey, but follow that tracker. So I started following that tracker. Apart from that, one thing which I put into my daily routine, that I was trying to give at least 1 hour on daily basis, or at least on one chapter. At least on 1 chapter, 1 hour on daily basis. Even though if that chapter is not completed, I will mark that in the book that this is the part which I have read it and I have to continue from next day from this page onwards. So this is the basic thing. I would say consistently, I was trying to give 1 hour in on daily basis. And like we are working professionals, so sometimes we don't get time during the day or during the week. So I will still mark that I have completed this or I have to accumulate this. So I will try to I try to complete that on weekend. Like on weekend, I was giving 2 hours or 2.5 hours on that day. But there was a very little break in the chain in terms of studying, I would say, from August till the end of the
so every day you were studying? Every day, from August to every day?
Every day, 1 hour at least.
And did you increase the slot? I mean, they increase 1 hour to 2 hour or 3 hour?
Frankly, I didn't need that because whatever slot I have to use, I was increasing during the weekend only. But when in the later part of the exam journey, like in the month of April or May, when we were solving mock paper and doing the push quizzes, then certainly you have to increase that thing. But for the working people, I know taking out more than 1 hour during the weekdays very difficult. So especially 4 weekends of April and the first weekend of May was totally dedicated to FRM quiz and mock papers.
Okay.
No other work I was doing on those weekends. I was only sitting in front of the system, taking those quizzes and mock papers, and making my notes on the basis of those mock papers, which I can revisit before the exam.
Okay, got it, got it. Now, with respect to in terms of your going through the chapters, your approach was to watch the video, read that Swagger textbook,
Yes.
and were you solving the question like immediately, or you said I'll do it afterwards?
I'll do it after, because I really like, as I said, I had a conversation with you and you guided me to first finish the books, then go for the quiz books and quiz and the
Right.
mocks. Then that's the same approach which I followed during the FRM.
Okay. And with respect to the following of the order, so Excel tracker, you followed in that order in the same go, or you modified it somewhere?
In the same go. No, I didn't modify it. I didn't.
Okay.
I believe in expertise. I believe, because as I said, like when I talked to you, it was a quite a thoroughly guided session. So I choose to follow that tracker completely.
Perfect, perfect. And when did you complete your first watching of video and reading of the content fully?
I think by January end I was able to complete it.
Okay, and then you started immediately the revision and the question
Revision.
And revision was through the Swagger book.
Through the Swagger, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, again, when you were revising and solving the question back, did you find any difficult question? And yes, then what was the approach that you were finding for those questions where you're getting wrong or finding it difficult?
During the mock paper, frankly speaking, there were some questions which were quite difficult, but I was trying to make a kind of a best guess on that. Like I'll read the questions. I will read the question. If I could not understand at that point, I will mark it as pass. That I will come back to it. Then I will spend another 30 seconds or 1 minute on that. Even if I don't know, I will put it on a best guess. Then I will go after completing the quiz that what was the answer to that. Then I will see where I was lacking and whether my best guess was right or not. And there were some explanation given at the end of those quizzes also. So I'll try to make note of those things. Like this is I was thinking, and this is the thing which is written in those notes, and this is why they have chosen this answer. Why I was not choosing that answer. So I'll try to make a note of that thing. So I have noted those things, so that helped me a lot.
Okay, and while doing the revision again, the final revision before the exam, you were going through
all of these. So I by the time of the final revision, I had my handwritten notes basis of the Schweitzer books and the quiz mocks, quiz question banks. So I was going through that, and then we had those 4 mock paper and section papers. So that was quite helpful.
When did you complete your chapter-wise questions? Which time?
For all the chapters, for all the books.
Yes.
Somewhere mid-April.
Mid-April. Okay.
Somewhere mid-April.
Okay. And when we say mid-April, again the timing was only 1 hour that you were giving, not primarily very
not
heavy.
more, not more than that. Only thing, the extended time I was giving only on weekend.
Okay, this is very interesting because
to be very fair, I cannot give more than 1 hour during the weekdays.
But this is very interesting because so the example that you are saying now is if you have consistency, okay, then even with 1 hour single day or per working day, you'll be able to pick up the entire part, right? Now, what was the approach after the mid of April? What was the approach after that?
After the mid of April, like I was concentrating on the mock papers. And I remember that I had a conversation with you also when I asked that should I go for the PT question bank, then you said there is no need to go for PT question bank because PT question bank is 1 notch higher, which will not play a role in exam. You will get demotivated and it will confuse you more rather than helping you.
Right. 1 second.
Yeah.
Really sorry, there was some call.
No problem. It happens.
So primarily, so sectional tests and that you basically picked up, you started doing that. And when did you pick up the mock papers? And what was your experience in that mock?
Like before exam, to be very fair, I took a leave of 5 days from my office. So including weekdays, that is 7 days of preparation before exam. So I was doing mock papers during those days. Like 14th May was my exam. I scheduled my exam, and I was on leave from my office, I think from 8th or 9th. So there was 6 or 7 days gap between that. So I did mock papers on those days, but I did only one mock paper in one day. I didn't try 2 or 3 or 4 mock papers continuously. I gave one mock paper one day.
Analysis. And then one analysis in one day?
Then analysis one day. Yeah, not more than that. Because you need to understand, you are sitting in front of the system continuously for 4 hours. Your mind will also get tired. You won't be able to understand what is happening. And same thing happened with you in the examination also, because you need to sit in front of the exam system for 4 hours. So you need to keep mind your refresh also. So only one mock paper one day.
Okay, and what was the average score you were getting in those mock?
Book first, I would say quite good, more than 50 something.
No,
book second as is total average.
Out of 100, how many right questions you were getting?
Around 60 to 65. Around 60 to 65.
And that was on an average happening in all the 4 books?
On an average, yeah. On an average.
And did you solve mock GARP sample paper?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Now, when you were giving the mock exams, were you solving on the same time the actual exam was scheduled? Say, for example, actual exam was in the early morning, 9 to 2. So you're also giving the mock papers at 9 to 2, like that?
Or no. I was giving mock paper during the night time because there is less disturbance at the home.
Okay.
That is much preferable time for me, because most of the family papers will be sleeping and there will be less noise. So I'll try to do it like after 9 or 10 in the night.
So till the exam date, what do you feel was the major challenge that you faced in your entire preparation?
In terms of book, I would say book 2 was a major challenge for me.
Okay, timing. You were able to manage for the preparation.
Timing was not a problem for me.
Explicitly, why I'm asking you, because a lot of working professionals, they say that they don't have time to go for this exam primarily. But your example, yes,
I believe if you are having a consistency in your plan and you are able to give 1 hour, at least 1 hour in a day, then time management will not be a problem.
Right, and your example is a classic case of how you can start slightly early and give 1 hour continuously, and then you'll not feel that pressure at the time of the exam, because you completed your videos properly, your question bank also properly by the mid of April, and then solving of the other part. So whatever
one more thing which I can tell, like even on some days, like when I see that I'm lacking 1 hour, like I'm lacking 1 hour a day, I was seeing your videos when I'm in my tube when I was traveling to office. So that also helped me. So that's why I'm saying that it doesn't mean that it's not necessary you stick to 1 hour, like you want to give 1 hour to book also. You can go through videos while traveling, or you have some but just give 1 hour at least, so that you can remain in consistency with the study material.
Perfect. And then when you went for the exam, what happened in the first hour of the exam? You started the exam in the first hour.
I remember correctly, and when I started the exam, few initial questions were related to probability. Those were quite difficult. So initially I tried to solve them, but I was not satisfied. But still I marked those answers and marked it that I will come back and review it, and I keep moving on. So whatever the numerical questions I tried, and if I'm satisfied at the first attempt, I will mark it as submitted. But if I'm not satisfied with my first attempt, then I will mark it as a review and I will come back to it. So first hour was a bit difficult because it has some probability question initially in it. But after first hour, then things become more natural and gradually for me, because it's a combination of theory and practical. So it became a bit easier for me after the first start. Like you can say that I get habitual of the spending rest 3 hours after
Yes.
spending 1 hour.
Perfect. And you were able to complete everything in the 4 hours properly, or
Yes,
you missed?
even 10 to 12 minutes earlier.
Okay, okay. And did you find questions where the two options were slightly very closer to each other?
Yes, I think it's a case with the GAP. They test your skill a lot. Not There were many questions. There were many questions. Like if you try to remove, if you try to find the answer, you will see no, this is the correct answer. And if you're marking it as if you are coming back to that question after 10 minutes, so this is not the correct answer. Second one is the correct answer. So it
Okay.
happens. It happens. But yes, that's why I said that in your videos also you said if you are don't sure about the question, just mark it, came back it, and then review it again. And you
Right.
can also note down that why you have marked this question. Just a slight kind of a I would say add on in your blank paper that's why I have marked this question as answer for this question.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. And primarily, when we talk about the theory and the practical bifurcation, so what was the status in your exam? How many theory, how many practical?
I think that would be 70-30 or 75-25.
So 30 questions that calculation driven. So those
Yeah.
questions were very easy, or what was the bifurcation that you feel that, okay, these were easy, these were difficult?
So, some of the question were straightforward, which requires the use of the formulas. Some of them are a bit tricky, but the trickiness was less in comparison of those straightforward questions. And few questions are using a combination of two or three concepts. Like I remember in one of the question, it was a combination of a CSX model and other credit rating approach. So it was a combination of both. But the
Okay.
combination was less. Trickiness was intermediate and straightforwardness on the higher side in terms of practical question.
Okay. And when we talk about theory, what was the case? I mean, how many you felt that, okay, I knew this question. I can easily pick up a answer for this question. Or how many where you have to think?
Out of 70, I would say you can say 25 to 30 kind of the questions which can be picked up from first reading.
Straight
But
away.
rest you have to, rest you have to read it twice or thrice.
Okay, but when you're reading twice or thrice, you are coming down to one or two options. You're eliminating the others, and then your final decision is. So then you might have to go through a particular point in the option and connect back to the book.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yeah. Even
So
like my handwritten notes through to those mock papers and answer, those were also helpful.
okay, and what is your view? Is Swedger enough for the exam?
For
In
FRM
Swedger?
level, I think yes. Yeah,
Okay, okay. And
yeah.
because so a lot of in the last November exam also, the feedback I also got is they are using a line which is written in Swedger, for example, one single line,
Hmm.
and they're creating a question on that. And
Yeah.
if you've read that line properly, if you understood that line, then you'll be able to pick it up. That is what
Yes.
primarily they were doing. And so when you came out of the exam, was there any number in your mind that I've got this much right? I feel that I've got this much right.
When I came out of the exam, I had a feeling that this time I would be able to clear it.
Okay.
And
And
as I said earlier, also only cause of worry was for me the second book, which is a kind of a weak point for me. And I recognize that without any, without any kind of that. Yes, second book is a kind of weakness for me.
so what are the quartiles that you got now? Book wise, book one, book two, book three. What are the quartiles you got?
Book one, book two, and book three, I got two, and book four, I got three.
So like you are able to perform better in book two as compared to book four, primarily, ultimately.
Yes, yes. That's a kind of surprise for me.
Okay, okay. And now when if somebody asks you what would be the top three tips that you could give to a student who is preparing for FRM? So can you help us with those top three tips as per your experience?
First one would be the consistency. First one would
Okay.
be consider as I started in August, so there was ample time. 1 hour was enough for me,
Hmm.
and consistency the first one. And second thing I would say, check your weakness. in terms of study material, what you think will be the weak point for you? Like I said, theory is something which has no relation to your experience or whether you are graduate or you are undergraduate or you are working professional. Theory is something which you can do it. But in the rest 3 books, identify your weakness and try to spend some more time on that. Maybe solve some extra questions or read that book twice or thrice, depending on your choice, what you think. And the third thing I would say, it's very, the third point I would say, it's something many people will say it, but it's a fact which I have also felt it. Be confident what you are doing and stick to your plan, and do not get disheartened, because you will be part of some group on Telegram, on WhatsApp, in your other circle also. People will come and say, I have done this much question in that chapter, I have done this much question and I have done BT, what's your status? You will get disheartened, but you should not be get disheartened. Stick to your plans, identify your weakness, and work on that only.
Yes, because if you, that's a very important point, the last one, because if you go to a forum, online forum, any practical WhatsApp group that you're a part of, everywhere they say you have to solve BT to clear FRM level 1. You have to read through GAR. Then only you will get conceptual understanding. You'll get this, you'll get that. And frankly speaking, I never ask people to directly go towards BT. First, do the basic swagger. If you have time, then you can explore anything that you want. If you have a difficulty in particular book, you can go and do that. But if there is no time and you are going through those difficult material of BT and GAR, you'll end up failing the exam. So that's common sense. I mean, it doesn't require any extra knowledge for it. So
and other thing, like there will be people, definitely there are many kind of people in the world. They will say that I have done so much of questions and this is more difficult. What are you doing? Why are you not doing this? You will get diverted. You will not stick to your plan. You will get diverted from your target. You just stick to your plan. Just follow these things. Maybe definitely you can do this.
Right. And one of the advantages, a lot of people, they want to start their preparation early. For example, right now also I get a lot of inquiries with respect to May 2023 exam. But the main point that they should also remember is that if you're getting a time, if you don't utilize it, like being consistent, it's not only 1 hour. If you dedicate right now, say half an hour, then the magnifying effect when you go complete the content, complete the solving, is going to be very much tremendous. I mean, magnifying effect you'll find. But if you're not consistent, there's no point starting early. You'll end up putting 2 hours, 3 years.
Agree. Because things will get accumulated for you, and then you will not be able to complete the task.
It will get you'll feel the pressure. You'll feel the pressure.
Definitely feel the pressure. Yes.
And I feel that because a lot of people are not consistent, they find the exam tough. They find
you can say
they find the concepts being tough because they didn't give time to those concepts. They were just reading and they expect exam to get clear. Definitely, it will not help them. So I mean,
no, it will not. In a very like some people say there are no shortcuts. Definitely, there are no shortcuts for FRM. People who have cleared it, they can tell this thing like there are no shortcuts for it.
Right. So I mean, thank you, Manoj. I mean, this conversation is going to be very helpful for students. Especially the one key point that I took from this interview is that you have to be consistent. Start early.
Yes.
Dedicate 1 hour every single day. You're a working professional, you cannot take more, but 1 hour is you can dedicate. Do it, and
1 hour I think you can do it. Yeah.
And you can clear the exam with no pressure as such. Will clear the exam, right? So that is one thing that a lot of audience, I think so, will take it from this interview. And thank you very much, Manoj, for taking out time and talking to us and giving a glimpse of your journey of preparation. That is going to be very helpful for all the other students who are planning for the exam in the near future. So thank you very much, Manoj.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.